Shalom Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And you know what time it is. It's the Lord's 57th annual Passover, and it's going to be held in Houston, Texas on April 4th. Don't forget, bring your family, bring your friends, because this is going to be the time that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans can come under one roof in one house and to serve the Lord. It's that time. $200 per person. Don't forget, over the age of 17. Don't forget the Lord's Passover. It's coming.
Kingdoms ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one. It was written.
It's that time of year. We're going to be in Houston, Texas from April 1st to April 5th, celebrating the Lord's 57th annual Passover under Commanding General Yohana. Jam-packed, full of events, line dancing, fishing, horseback riding, rides for the kids, bounce houses, and the annual lamb slaughter held at the BH Ranch. And it ain't no party like the all-black party, the annual all-black party. 14149 Player Street in Houston, Texas. You know it's gonna be lit. All leading up to Saturday, April 4th, the Lord's 57th annual Passover. You still got time. Go to isupk.com to pay your Passover fee. 18 and over, $200. You do not want to miss the Lord's 57th annual Passover. Houston, Texas. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Whoop! We gon' change the world, we won't let it change us. Even when they switch sides and they wanna change up. Fucking with my brother, then your life in danger. Got no fear like I got one in the chamber. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it now. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it. They want a fame, they want a clout. That's why they doubt. I got them black, I want a class. And I shut my mouth. This was way before polite, before I came to campsites. I came broken and contrite. I just wanted to live right, clean my soul and give my life. Had to give up all my vice. I got a fog out my head. I was raised from the dead. I put down that weed and I cut off my dreads. For before I could lead, I had to learn to be led. Now I'm a bad motherfucker. Walk around and I straight flex on suckers. No one specific, I'm talking to all of you busters. Straight from the gutter, me and my brother, we the long supper. Now, running it like a conductor. Hebrew Academy, I'm the instructor. 14 written all on my cover. Men of war like we hopped at a Hummer. Look like you wanted my trooper could cut you. There is one camp, there is not another. One West, UPK. One West, UPK. One West, one West, one West, UPK. One what? UPK. One what? UPK. One what? One what? One what? UPK. Me and all of my Oyes, hold it, shit down, right here, all day. Shalom, wagwan, sa, passe, is we, damn niggas, yatu, sabe, hey. We gon' change the world, we won't let it change us. Even when they switch sides and they wanna change up. Fucking with my brother, then your life in danger. Got no fear like I got one in the chamber. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day day that he crowned it now. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If
you in live the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, Priest and Captain 10,000 Natazak Nashad, Isupk under command of General Yohana, the biblical scripture breakdown class, Most High in Christ, while y'all joining, Barakatah Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai, got Sister Taza Ryan, Mataza Makoy Yala, Shalom Yatawab Taza Ryan, Tawada Aqua Afnawa, Sister Deborah, Yahweh Shema Latam, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Azaraka, Shalom, Shalom. All right. On deck here, on deck. All right. We go ahead. Questions. Anybody got any questions in the room? Go in there. All right. There's a lot being revealed. Of course, we coming up. War looming more and more. Heading into the Third World War and the collapse of this society and America. We're going to start with Christ's words. Some good living fashioned milk. Going to get some milk. Some very important to get nice and strong. All right. Now, we're going to start with Matthew, with Christ's words. Matthew chapter 5. All right. We're going to start with Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. As a matter of fact, we're going to start with verse 13. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13, it says, ye are the salt of the earth. Meaning we give this earth its flavor, its style. We tell it how to dance. We tell it what to sing, how to sing. We tell it what to eat. We give it the standard. You understand? The standard for what something is done right and proper has always been so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are the Lord's standard, his private stock. You understand, so to speak. For those of you who drink alcohol, we the Lord's private stock. You understand? The scripture says, ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? How is the earth going to get its flavor, get its direction? How is it supposed to know what's good? We are supposed to be the leading voice and authority on the planet Earth. That's how the Lord set it up. That's how it was always supposed to be. But if we've lost our savor, we lost our flavor, now the earth is in disarray, and that's what's happening right now. All right. It says it is henceforth, from here on out, it's good for nothing. You understand? The Lord gave us instructions on how to be the people that we are. And these instructions are very vital, not just to our safety and security, but to our identity. You understand? Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemalata, Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. But to be cast out, and what's happening right now is we are being cast out. All right, Shalom, Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Shabbagatah. We as a people, Samadabar, we as a people are being cast out. We're being cast out of our own countries. We're being cast out of Central America, South America. We're being cast out of the United States. These things are happening because the light of the world that the Lord made us, he also gave us instructions. He gave us instructions on how to remain in our position with power and authority. Like, we have to be rulers. The Lord made the children of Israel to rule, and the instructions that he gave is how we rule. Let me just check something real quick. Okay, slight delay. All right, it's not bad. Okay. And that's how we rule. So Christ is explaining. All right, let's just do a quick check. All right, we should be good. We're gonna have this. Bear with me just a second, y'all. Light need referring to a candle, but there's a power in the Bible we call it, because we have a power, and that power makes us strong. You understand? And our connection to the power that made us the light of the world and the salt of the earth, we keep that connection good and strong by obeying the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's who we are. That's our identity. That's our flavor. You understand? That's our culture. Right now, we are a people that is in the middle of everybody else's culture, and we don't fit there. We in the middle of Islam and Christianity and church and the mosque and all kinds of things, and we don't fit in any of those places. And now it's time for the people of those places and cultures, it's time for them to face the judgment for the crimes that they have done. It's time for them to pay for the crimes that they've done to the Lord's chosen people. Now is not the time to be joined hand in hand with our oppressors, or with the or with Israel, or with Palestine, or with the Africans. The world now is getting ready to not realize they owe for. Everybody realizes that what happened in Palestine is terrible, and the Holocaust is terrible, and Darfur is terrible, and Libya is terrible. Everybody realize what's going on. All right, shalom. But what the Lord said, that the Lord said is terrible, the world does not think it's something terrible. The world doesn't think us going into slavery, being in captivity, is a terrible thing. They celebrate it every year. They celebrate Thanksgiving. They celebrate Pledge Allegiance to America, my country, 'tis of thee. They don't think what has happened to us is something terrible. Whoever that is, Garnett, would look like my rag, Garnett. Go ahead and sign in. Make sure you sign in for attendance. Just put your name and city and state there so we can get you for attendance. All right. I might have to switch this, but that's what the Lord is saying there. Hey, shalom, sis. I was Shamal Shemal Shah.
All right.
All right.
Let's see what we're looking at.
Let's see what we're looking at.
Right. Good.
Right. Looking good. Nope. All right. Good. We sound clear. All right. All right. Real quick. So now, the Lord said in chapter 5, let's just a minute, y'all. We're not gonna deal with that.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man.
Yeah.
If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Now. All right, check, test. Let me know if y'all can see me better at this point. Just give me some ones. Let me know if I'm coming through clear. All right, I hear myself. All right. Shalom. All right, the water. All right. Wait me just a moment. Get this adjusted. All right. Now we should be good to go. I got 1-1. Okay. I got a Zara Kushad, the water. Jabragada, Zarka. Okay. All right. We should be good. All right, everybody. All right. We get the ones up. All right. Check something real quick. All right. Looking good.
That was just a moment.
All right. Everybody, we should be Tawab now. Okay. All right. So that's what Christ was saying in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Ye are the salt of the earth. Like we give the world its flavor. Like all of our lives, we've been lied to by the Christian church telling us that everybody is equal. God loves everybody. You know, all the usual things and lies of Islam and Christianity. We are one people, one faith, one all of that nonsense. That's not true. That's not what's in the Bible. That's never what God said. And it's very important now, more than ever, that all Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans get in the ISUPK, which is the body of Christ, so that you can learn the truth about the Bible and what instructions are necessary in these end times and these last days. America, like every other empire, was already prophesied to fall. And because the Christian church has not taught us what is actually in the Bible, we have not learned what God said. We haven't learned what the Lord said, his instructions, what we should do, and what are the signs leading up to the return of our King. That's why it's so important that Christ said this in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I'm come to destroy the law. Where is the law? Where can you find the law? Where is the law contained in the scriptures? Like, where can you find that? What did he say? Who knows where the law is? Like, why would Christ even bring up the law? The majority of our lives, the Christian church has lied and told us that God did away with the law. There are no more laws, rules, instructions that Christ wants us to follow. Thanks to Christ, you know, everybody can basically just do whatever they want. You understand? Trooper McQuarrie Ya'ala, yes, he said the Old Testament. You understand? Now, what does the Christian church teach about the Old Testament? Because as far as the world, as far as the planet knows, the Christian church is where you go to learn about God. And even if you don't physically go to an actual church building with a pastor, preacher, deacon, the entire American society is church. The entire Black, Latino, and Native American community is the Christian church. What we believe, what we think, what we eat, how our families work, our lives, our relationships, our education, what we believe is right and wrong, our entire lives are dictated to us by the Christian church. Even if you do not realize it, even if you call yourself a so-called atheist, a non-believer, all of that is Christianity. Even the atheists are Christian. They still celebrate Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, they wearing green and getting drunk. St. Valentine's Day, they passing chocolates, looking for hoes. You understand? Christmas, they looking for gifts. They going to Christmas parties. Halloween, they celebrating, wearing costumes. For those of you that don't know, all of these are Christian holidays and celebration. The real All Hallows Eve is satanic, about murder and killing and kidnapping and raiding houses and violating the family. That's what the real Halloween is. The All Hallows Eve. Halloween was made into a nice, churchy, dress up, have fun, get candy thing by the Christian church. You understand? Thanksgiving is a Christian holiday. The world is wrapped in Christianity. All right? Everything outside of the ISUPK is Christian. Even learning the white man's Yiddish, speaking his Jewish language, his happy Sabbath, his Shabbat, his Shaloms, all of those things there, all of the culture that we have been immersed in is the culture outside of what the Lord has given us in the Bible. The only way to learn and get that, you got to come into UPK. You understand? The straight and narrow way to make everything clear. That's why it's a bunch of confusion and uncertainty about so much in life, because our people have not come to the place, the one house that the Lord set up. You understand? But you all are here tonight. Give yourselves a hand. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai, that you made it here when so many did not. All right? That's right. The Christian church says shalom. The Christian church says the laws are done away with. Christ out of his own mouth faced religious leaders that lied on him while he was alive, saying that the law that you say we don't have to obey Moses' law, because they called it the law of Moses. They said, you telling us we don't have to obey Moses' law. And that's not what Christ said. And Christ clarified it while he was alive, because they lied on him. And even after his death, they continued to lie on him, even though he clarified it out of his own mouth. Right here, what we read. All right, shalom, brother Shabbat.
Shalom.
So Yaquab timing. All right, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Give me Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. There we go, priest. Wow. But Christ had to clarify this. If you don't know God's law, statutes, and commandments, you are lost right now in the earth. The white man has something that blacks and Latinos do not have. You think they got military and army down in Central and South America. The white man showed up with his white military and his white killers, his white man Navy, his white man shooters in the army and the Marines, and they swooped in and snatched the president of Venezuela in the middle of the night in his jammies, laid up, spooned up with his rib. They snatched him out the middle of the night. You understand? It might look like you got some freedom, but we don't have freedom. We in captivity with bad leaders, bad food, bad representation. We going to jail, all kind of problems. That's why it's important to know that God sent Christ, and Christ did not do away with God's instructions in the Bible. Give me 5 and 17, Yaquab, please.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Christ had to clarify this. Don't think that I am here to get rid of God's law, statutes, and commandments. Don't think that, because the Christian church has taught people that. They were lying on Christ, just like I just finished saying. So I don't got to repeat that. Keep going.
Or the prophets.
Or the prophets. That's very important. He said the law or the prophets. Why did he say the law or the prophets? Who knows why he said that? Why does that matter? Remember, every time you read the Bible, anytime you see the words, what are the words you want to pay close attention to when you read the Bible, class? What are those words? Yeah,
Slack it, sir.
what are those words? You got to pay close attention to them. Shalom, brother. What are the words you got to pay close attention to? If,
Slack it, sir.
and, or but. You got quiet?
Oh, slack it, sir. I was going to say that.
That's what you was going to say?
Come on,
Salakia, I jumped the gun. Salakia. That's right. That's right, Apostle Paul. That's right. Shalom, sister. Yahweh Shemal Thashim Yahweh Shah. If, and, or but. Those words are very important. Don't ever just read past those. Don't ever just skip past those. Those things mean something. Think not I come to destroy the law, which is one thing. God's laws, statutes, and commandments are written in stone. You can go back and read them and see exactly what they are. Or this is something else besides the law. Contained in the law is something very important. It's something very important that's contained in the law, and that is the instructions that God gave at each time through the prophets, Daniel, Ezra, Nehemiah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, the prophets the Lord set up. He's giving instructions right now. So you're not going to go guess, am I supposed to find Barack Obama? Am I supposed to choose Hillary Clinton? Am I supposed to go to my mama's pastor or my grandma's pastor or this fake Israelite or the purple sodomites that's bringing in Africans and killing sisters and having sex with trannies? Am I supposed to go over here and be with this group with a leader taking a rod up his behind from his woman? Over here with dreadlocks and shape-ups smoking weed. Am I supposed to go to the mosque? Am I supposed to put on a yarmulke and say shalom and not flick a light switch or make sandwiches on the Sabbath day and not show legs like a Jehovah Witness? Or women can't wear pants like Jehovah Witness in Muslims. What rules do I follow? Who do I hear from? Oh, that's the Old Testament. Now it's 2026. What do I do? Where are my instructions? The Christian church leaves you to guess. They say whatever is in your heart, whatever God laid on your heart at the time, that's what he wanted you to hear, wanted you to think, wanted you to feel. That is a damn lie. Sister, brother, God never left it up for you to guess. What am I supposed to do at the time? He has not. You understand? Never. Read what Christ said again, and I'm going to show you something. He never did that. Read it from the top one more time, Yaquab. The whole thing.
Come on, sir. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Right. I'm not coming. Or the prophets. The prophets got instructions from the Lord on what to say. How do you know a prophet? How do you know a prophet? Pastors calling themselves prophets now. Fake Israelites calling themselves prophets. They robbing people, extorting people, murdering people, molesting the children. They calling themselves prophets. One Hamite scammer told everybody he was building an ark and everybody was supposed to give him money. He got money to build a boat and then said, oh, God changed his mind. And then he went and got some Bentleys and some suits and some Gucci over in Africa. How do we know? Creflo Dollar say he's the prophet, the man of God. He needs you to buy him another jet. The Winans church said, I want 1,200. 1,200 in my hand. She came up 500 short in front of her grandbaby and the whole congregation. But she still thinks she's serving God and will walk right past us on the street, opening the Bible, just like it says in Nehemiah 8:8, and will give her pastor all of her light money and her mortgage. So how would you know? Keep going.
I am, but to fulfill. Slack you, sir.
He said, I'm not coming to do away.
Come.
Go ahead.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Meaning, I'm not coming to put an end to the prophecies that the Lord told them prophets to say. I'm not coming to tell you that everything that the men before me said is over. That's a lie. They lie on Christ. That's not true. Because the prophecies that God told the prophets to say in the Old Testament, give me Ezekiel 33 and 33. Those prophecies had not come to pass when Christ came. It's important to know what those prophecies are, because you will be lost. Right now, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans don't know the prophecies of God. That's why they decided that they will vote for Donald Trump. And now Donald Trump is deporting everybody. They don't know that God sent the prophets to tell light-skinned brothers and sisters that just because you're not dark-skinned don't mean you're not black. Don't mean you're not the children of God. Doesn't mean that you're accepted in America. You understand? Because you've been able to pass for a white man does not mean that a white man will accept you into his world past what he can exploit, which is all he's ever done to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. But if you don't know the words of the prophets of God, you can think that you are a part of America. You can think America's your home. You can think that you can wear the same jersey as the oppressor and put on his uniform and get in his police force and his military and his government seats and figure that this is your home. Well, God rose up prophets to tell you that you are not at home. And Christ did not die so that you can feel at home in your slave master's kingdom. That's the opposite. Preachers taught us to feel at home in our oppressor's kingdom. And because of that, we've not been building the Lord's kingdom. And now we are at such a great disadvantage that it's time for our oppressor's kingdom to come to an end, which is what we're seeing in America. You understand? So keep going, Yaikwap.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 33. And when this cometh to pass.
And when whatever the Lord set up, when a thing comes to pass. Keep going.
Lo.
And for sure, lo, go ahead.
It will come.
It's going to happen. You might not be sure, but it's going to happen. Keep going.
Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them.
When the thing that the Lord said, that a man that say he's a prophet of God, when it actually happens, then you will know that a prophet have been among them. Martin Luther King spoke as though he was a man of God, as we in Black History Month. And the world, our society, still to this day functions as though that was a revelation from God. And Martin Luther King is, in fact, in the Bible, which is an excellent question. Officer Quashai asked this question there. That's a perfect timing, brother. That's a perfect timing. You put that question in there, man. That's the Lord. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 7, brother. It says, when a wicked man dieth, like Martin Luther King told us to do something that was very wicked. because we thought that those words came from God. Give me 23, Jeremiah 23 and 25, while I read Officer Krishad's question. The Lord said, when a wicked man dieth, some evil man, how do you know that a man is wicked? You won't know unless you have God's laws, statutes, and commandments, because you won't have a measuring stick to find out what God said is wicked, is evil, it's a sin. You won't know what a sin is. A sin is whatever you feel at the time. So if the pastor feels like touching all the little boys and girls at church, you can't say he's wicked because he's the man of God. But if you know God's commandments, and it says that you cannot force a man or a woman or a child or anyone to have sex with you, that you've done an abomination and you're supposed to die for that. Now you know that being a nasty rapist and a child molester is wicked, so that the people's supposed to stop following the pastor, considering that they molesting children. You're supposed to know that smoking is wicked, because an ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his or her lips there's a burning fire, something that's been set on fire, and his smoke comes out of it, and you put a branch to your nose, some stick that's on fire to your nose. Damn right, that was perfect timing. It says, when a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish. Whatever he wanted to do is going to die with him. Martin Luther King wanted to comfortably join us to white men so that the sons of slaves and the daughters of slave owners could hold hands at the table of brotherhood. That was a wicked thing that God was against. But at the time and to this day, everyone considers Martin Luther King a man of God. They call him Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, someone to be respected as a religious man of God. So is the rest of his crew. Reverend Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson, people that you would think speak for God. But when a wicked man died, his expectation shall perish. That expectation of us joining white women, it perish. We still trying to chase his dream, but his dream was not true. The Lord did not send that. We don't fit with them. And the hope of unjust men perish. The thing he hoped for was to be able to comfortably sit at the table with the slave master. God did not want us comfortable at the white man's table. He wanted the oppressor uncomfortable, and he wanted you uncomfortable, so that we would be looking for our own table, not looking to get a bigger bowl at master's table. You understand? Give me Martin Luther King. Give me what you got. For the brothers and sisters that have never heard this scripture before, Martin Luther King is prophesied by the prophet Jeremiah that Christ needed you to understand in the New Testament. He did not end the prophecies that God told Jeremiah to say hundreds of years before he was born. Christ did not end that. You still supposed to reverence and understand that God sent Jeremiah. Keep going.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 25.
I got you, brother. No sweat. Give it to
I have heard what the prophet said.
This is the Lord speaking. He sent Jeremiah to say this. You understand? And just as a sidebar, you have to think coming into the truth and serving God requires brotherhood. If you love your slave master, you can't have brotherhood with your people. You can't love your neighbor who is the children of thy people. You can't love your neighbor as thyself, because Donald Trump is not as thyself. He's not going to look at you as his people. You understand? The Arabs and Africans and Asians, they're not going to look at you as thyself. You're not one of them. They're not one of you. The Lord gave us instructions, you understand? Keep going.
That prophesy lies in my name.
That does what?
That prophesy lies in my name.
What does it mean when it says they prophesy. What does it mean to prophesy, class? Who just came in here? I'm pick on you first. Sister Hadassah, Sister Ryle. What does that mean? To prophesy. What is to prophesy? Young man Raheem, Officer Yabakar, what does it mean to prophesy? Sister Shakar, what does that mean? So many words in the Bible, churchy words, Bible words, Christian words. What the hell do these things mean? Officer Natazab, all the way from Southern California. Officer Carl Sapar, what do these words mean? What is the Bible talking about? What is to prophesy? All right, Sister Rye, you got to go to speak the future. It's something very specific. It's specific to speak the future. All right. It was a Krishad, he said, speak the future. All right. To tell someone what the Most High will do, the future. All right. Very specific. To speak things to come. All right, Sister, that's all right. Everybody throwing the same jab. All right. To tell future events. All right. Break down the scriptures as you are now. So, all right. All right. It's a little specific. Y'all got the gist of it, but it's something very specific why this word is used. Every word has a meaning. To prophesy means to go out on the street and speak in the name of God. Prophesy. That's the prophesy. Prophecy is just saying it. To prophesy, he went out on the street to tell people that this is the word of God. This is what God said. When it says to tell lies in my name, what does that mean? Those are good guesses, y'all. Clap it up. Real good guesses. What does it mean when the Bible says in my name? It says they prophesy lies in my name. What does that mean?
Salakia, sir.
All right, y'all quiet. Come on, I'll let you have one. Come on with it. Salah, come on with it, brother.
It means
Come on with it.
It means that these so-called prophets are going out telling lies in the name of the Most High.
You can't use the word to define it. That specific part I'm asking about, it says when they say tell lies in my name. What does that mean? That part, in my name. General Muhammad does these in the class so that it's a very specific detail to the question. What is in my name? There you go. Also, Carson Paul got it. That's right. Reputation. Right. That's the specific part. My name, when it says the name of Christ, the name of Christ is not just repeating the word God, 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 Jesus, 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 like Bloody Mary and damn Candyman. If you old enough to remember Candyman or Bloody Mary, you might be too young. I think most of us in here are old enough to remember. Who remembers Candyman and Bloody Mary? Who remember Candyman? Y'all remember? All right. Well, repeating it over and over again like a chant or a seance. Jesus, 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 God, God, Jesus, Jesus, Lord, Lord, Lord. That's what the Christian church teaches you is in my name. They chant Jesus 1,000 times. You know, that's not in my name. My name is my reputation. The name of God is God's reputation. You cannot know God's reputation without learning the Bible. You cannot learn the Bible without knowing what the prophets and the law. The Lord is his law. The records of God's characteristics is in the Old Testament. Christ said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. The Father sent me. I testify of my Father. That's right. Candyman does sound like a pastor. You're right. Tony Todd for sure did sound like a pastor, sister. But yes, that's what pastors do. and they repeat the word over and over again. If I told you something, and you, brothers or sisters, this is how you know the Bible is black. If I'm talking to somebody, and you see us going back and forth, and you hear somebody repeating, and you hear me say, why you playing with my name? You playing with my name. You playing with my name. What am I saying to him? What am I saying? And what's getting ready to happen? What's going on? Just think like a black man. Just think like a black man. Thinking like a black man and not trying to make the Bible white will make you understand the Bible a lot more. What else we got in here? Some of y'all done checked in. Everybody not at work. I ain't getting no answer from about a quarter of y'all. We'll start picking on people in a minute. We in class. This ain't church. This is interactive in class. All right. Right. Playing with my name. What's going on? Because the bar said some furniture about to move around. That's a good guess. You think I'm a joke? I'm going to show you. I'm not. I was a Yagadar. I was a Krishna speaking badly about him or falsely. You lying on my name. You understand? Hey, Sister Hadassah, you assassinating my character. You understand? You got these people thinking I'm a joke. Was a Yabakar said, put some respect on my name. You understand? You causing people to disrespect me. You causing people to think stuff about me that's not true. You causing people to might want to play with me down in the line. You doing something that could cause a confrontation between us. You damaging my character. All of these things are excellent responses. Defamation. You destroying my character. You playing with my name. You teaching other people that they can play with my name. That's what the Bible is talking about. My reputation, my character, how I operate, how other people see me. That's my name. That's the name of Christ. Bahashim Yahweh, the name of the Lord, meaning his reputation. The Christian church doesn't teach you God's reputation. The Christian church teaches you God is a grandma just waiting to hug everybody and make you some pie. Pass out grits and eggs and sausage. That's not God's reputation. That's not the spirit of the Lord. The Christian church has misrepresented God so poorly that the children of God cannot find their way back to our Father. And that has put us in danger from ICE, from Border Patrol, from the police, from the drug dealer, from the Muslims, the kidnapper, Jeffrey Epstein, the sex traffickers, everything we are in danger of. AIDS and LGBT and cancer, herpes and everything terrible. Overdosing and meth and fentanyl and weed and coke, heroin. We in danger of everything. Why? Because the reputation of our Father, we don't know how to walk in the name of our Father, in the name of Christ, who taught us how the Father told us we're supposed to operate. That's what's in the Bible. The Lord has been trying to teach us this since the time of the law and the prophets. That's why Christ said, don't think I put an end to the work that those brothers were doing. Their time was their time. Now it's mine. But make no mistake, they're doing the job that I am doing. This is a continuation. I'm not cutting them off. God sent them just like he sent me. And that's an important thing to know, because the Christian church teaches you to be unbrotherly. And it's a spirit to not care about what the people who came before you had to do, to not care, to have a care for the young ones and the little ones who are coming after you, to not have a care about your mother and father, to not have a care about the previous generations, to continue your family lineage. to not marry the other races of people, to not take their gods, to disregard the Lord's high holy days, to go and do Chinese New Year or the Kenyan New Year or Christmas or St. Patrick's Day. It disrespects the name, the reputation of the Most High, which is his people, which is his son, which is his spirit. All of that is one and the same. You understand? So now with that understanding, read that scripture one more time again from the top, Yaquab.
Come. I have heard what the prophet said. That
Why does it say I have
lied?
heard? Hold on 1 second. I want to break. There's so much in this scripture. I'm trying to let Yaquab read it, but there's so much in there that I don't want y'all to miss. Why did God say I have heard? The Lord hear everything, don't he? Why does he have to make a point to say I have heard? Why he say that? Like, why would the Lord even need to say I have heard? Of course you heard. Why, Yaquab? Why would the Lord even say that? I have heard. Salaki, why?
Sir. I'm gonna take a stab at it.
Come on.
Because the reports given to him by the angels.
That's good. That's decent. That's decent. Sister I said to reiterate. Now, when the Lord came after Cain murdered Abel, he went to ask him a question. He said, where is your brother? When the Lord came to talk to Adam, after Adam fell weak underneath of his woman, after she fell weak under the serpent, you understand? What did he call Adam? He said, Adam, where are you? Did the Lord lose Adam? Was Adam in the spot where the GPS was turned off? He was in the dead zone? No. He said this so that he heard it. He heard it over and over again through different people. That's a good guess. Not quite, sis. That's a good guess. Shalom, sis. Lord of Christ. All right. No sweat. He said this so that you could take a gauge as to where you are. That's why he said this to Adam. He didn't say that to Cain so that Cain could, see if he can go and hide under a log and the Lord wouldn't find him. He said it so that Cain could see where he was, so that he could see himself, so that Adam could see himself, what was going on. That was the purpose. He said, I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesied lies in my name. You see this? I heard it. I heard this. It didn't reach me. You understand? Shalom. All right. He said, I've heard what the prophet said that they spoke. They speaking lies in my name, on my reputation. You hear this? They saying, I have dreamed. MLK Yaquab.
Come. I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
What did the prophet say? Lying on God, saying that I have a dream. I have a dream. That's Martin Luther King in the Bible. You understand? I'm on the side. Hey, no sweat. No sweat. I got you, brother. You are. Say, I had a dream. Keep going. That's Martin Luther King.
Verse 26. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies?
Go ahead. They prophesy lies.
Yea, they are
Right.
prophets.
How long are they going to continue? He's saying, I have heard what the prophets said that prophesy lies in my name. Why? Because I didn't tell them a damn thing. I didn't tell them nothing. I didn't send them. They don't have my reputation. They don't have my approval. I didn't tell them to say anything. Keep going.
Yea, they are prophets.
Yes, go ahead.
They are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
Oh yeah, they prophesying something. They prophets, all right, of the deceit of their own heart. They prophesying to you with the name and the reputation like they speaking for God, but that's what in their heart, not what the Lord said. I didn't tell them to say anything. They ran to you like I sent them. And because you are not accustomed to obeying the Lord, like our people have been accustomed to disobeying the Lord, starting with Christmas, starting with pork, before we got cocaine and heroin and pills and fentanyl. Back when it was something that looked like it was a small thing. Back when it was just, I'm dreaming. I got a dream that one day we're going to supposed to be together with our oppressor. And, all of this, they don't have to face the Lord's judgment. They don't have to face punishment for all the people they done lynched and hung and sold and unalive. Martin Luther King did not care about what had happened to black people. He was sitting on the white buses, eating at the white restaurants, forcing our way into the white side of town. He actively put us in danger. And we are still suffering for it this day because the Lord did not send him. Without the law and the prophets, which is what Christ said, I did not do away with them, we would have no measure of Martin Luther King. It was the younger generation, the active generation, the lively generation that I want to get in the fight. He was so charismatic, and he gamed up people who had no experience, who did not know that the white man was the devil, even though the content of his character showed that he would sick dogs on children, that he would hit you with a fire hose. Fire hose is strip the bark off a tree. Have you ever tried to peel some bark off of a tree with your bare hands? You'll tear several layers of skin, and the tree will still be there perfect. The fire hose is strip a tree down to the light skin part of a tree, the part you're not supposed to see unless you cut it down. That's what they sicked on us following Martin Luther King. And it caused us to lose our businesses, our families, our homes, and led us on a damn downhill slope, chasing his dream that God did not give him. You understand? Skip up to verse 14 for me.
Come. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 14. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem a horrible thing.
In the prophets, the Lord said, I'm seeing things that's terrible, looking at these people to keep saying what I want them to do at that time. You said, I see something terrible. Keep going.
They commit adultery.
Because Paul heard me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3, Baba Kashar. The Lord said they commit adultery, meaning they having sex with another brother's woman. They're committing adultery. They taking on the customs of the gods of the other nations. That's adultery. That's right. Those fire hoses will tear you apart. Firefighters turn that hose on your door will be destroyed. That water will mangle your house to put that fire out. Your furniture, your floor, your walls, put a dent in your refrigerator. That water pressure is serious. And they turned them hoses on children. He did not care about black people. He had emotions and feelings, but he did not care about our people. He was not a good leader. He was not sent from God. And our people following him caused us great suffering that God and Christ warned us about. But the preachers told us we didn't need the Old Testament or the prophets, and they put us in this danger. Keep going.
And walk in lies.
They walk in lies, meaning they're not just telling a lie. When it says they walk in lies, that means they're continuing in the lie. It's one thing if you tell your kids, put a quarter under your pillow and the tooth fairy, and put your tooth under the pillow, the tooth fairy gonna come. You understand? It's one thing. It's another thing if you spread the tooth fairy story to everybody. Now everybody kids believe in the tooth fairy. You understand? It's one thing if you just tell your kid, you know, it don't matter what race you are, God love everybody. It's another thing if you travel the world and tell everybody, God love everybody. You walk in a lie. Meaning you can lie to yourself. You understand? A man look in the mirror and he see a man and then he go about trying to be a woman. He might try to act like a woman or talk like a woman. And then from there, he go from just believing in a lie. Now he gonna dress like a woman and go outside and then demand that you call him a woman's name. Looking at a man with a thick nigga jaw, big nigga hands, fuzzy nigga legs, furry nigga arm, and a mustache talking about he's living an alternative lifestyle. They completely walking in a lie. It's not just what you tell yourself. Now the lie has become your life. You understand? You're going to die and go to heaven one day. Your life revolves around dying and going to a white man's heaven. Our lives revolve around the lies of these Christian holidays. Mother's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Father's Day, Easter. Your whole life revolves around it. It's why you take time off. It's why you get overtime, what you plan for, what you teach your kids. We are walking in lies. And we did this for so long during the days of Jeremiah that the Lord was so pissed that we ended up in the bottom of slave ships. Because we've been going to church, walking in lies. You understand? About white Jesus and Tooth Fairy and Easter Bunny and rabbits laying eggs and Santa Claus and white Jesus and race don't matter. God love everybody. We walked in these lies because preachers taught us these lies. You understand? Keep going.
They strengthen also the hands of evildoers.
Not only are these lies damaging, but they strengthen the hands of an evildoer, someone who wants to do evil. You understand? Most people that do something evil, they realize they do something evil. They say, you know what? I'm doing something evil, man. I ain't got no business doing this. There was a time when I never started smoking this stuff, man. I wish I never started, man. I wish I never started. There was a time. But now, being on drugs is the lifestyle. That's the point. Coding, Percocets, pain medicine, Perk 30, Perk 50, the Oxy, the Fit, is everything. We done walked in lies so long that being a junkie has become synonymous with our people. And that's not true. But they strengthen an evil man so that someone who would say, damn, I have a problem. They're not going to say I got a problem. They can say, God love me no matter what. So I'm rolling it up back to back to back. I shouldn't be out here robbing people, but you know what? God knows my heart. Hit me with that tattoo. This mask down. We're going to go in here and get this money, y'all. Can't nobody tell me I'm wrong. Can't nobody judge me but God. That's a lie. You lied to yourself. It's a million of our people facing a judge. There's more than one judge. God is not the only judge. But they teach us these lies that lead us to face judges. Like, this is what we have no rules to follow. We got them. The Japanese got rules. The Ethiopians and Arabs got rules. But we're the only race of people that don't have rules built into our society. If I want to do it, I can do it. God loved me no matter what. Who are you? I want to shoot everybody, I'm going to shoot everybody. Who are you to tell me I shouldn't be shooting people? Mind your business. That's because of the preachers. They strengthen an evil man. They're all Christians. The Ku Klux Klan, they all Christians. The Taliban, they all Muslims. They praying 5 times a day. They facing Mecca. They got their prayer rugs. And then once they finish doing that, they're going to go take their sword and behead someone on the beach. Why? Because an evil man gets strong from these prophets, from the men that's lying, saying that they represent God. That's right, sister. You can't go to the store and buy cough medicine without an ID. Keep going.
That none doth return from his wickedness.
It says that nobody returns from their wickedness. Nobody is getting to the point where they saying, you know what? I've been out here doing this 10, 15 years, man. Maybe I should stop. Nobody's saying to stop. You go to church on that Easter Sunday, get dipped in that water, get baptized. They don't tell you to stop robbing, stop getting high, stop smoking, stop snorting and shooting up. They don't tell you to stop lying. It doesn't teach us anything. That's right, brother. Donald Trump is a Christian. Renee Good was a Christian, and the white man who executed Renee Good, he was a Christian too. It don't save you. It don't stop you from murdering, and it don't stop you from being murdered. Like, Christ gave us warnings. He gave us warnings. All the ICE agents are Christians. That's right. Remember, they ran in the church in Minnesota. The damn pastor's the regional ICE commander. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we just thank you for our blessings, Lord, and all of this here, and get these the filthy we got to kill the Indians, save the man. Like, they are strengthened by Christianity. Sister said, asked the Lyft driver today, who said she was a pastor. She got cut. She said, I'm a pastor. I said, okay, who made you a pastor? Huh? That's what she did. Who made you a pastor? Who told you that you're supposed to be a pastor? You convicted the sister. She never thought about it. She said, God got a calling on my life. You trying to be the man of faith running the church. Don't realize how much damage you're doing. You understand? Keep going.
They are all of them unto me as Sodom.
They're all like Sodom. God look at them as homosexuals. Sodom, sodomites. That's how God looks at the pastors and preachers. That's what he said about them. Keep going.
And the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah.
You got it. And the inhabitants, meaning the members who attend their churches, as Gomorrah. The people who live, the congregation of them. You look at them all as homosexuals. That whole thing. That's how God looks at it. You understand? And then you would not know how God feels about it unless you understood that Christ did not do away with the law or the prophets. All right. There we go. All right, the water Yaquab. Give me the scripture you holding, Paul. You got the Deuteronomy 7:3.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
You got the Deuteronomy 73. Go ahead and read it.
Can you hear me?
Con, I hear you. You good to go.
Oh, okay. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
God said, do not make marriages with another nation of people. A marriage is a relationship, a covenant. God said, don't do that. Don't make a marriage with another nation of people. Hold up. All right. I don't see me. Bear with me just a moment. Look like we disappeared.
Come.
Yaquab, I'm only seeing you. I don't see the rest of us. I don't know what happened.
Salakia, sir. I can see everybody, sir, from this end.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. I don't know what happened. All right, go ahead. Water, Salakia.
Come. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
A marriage. The Lord said, don't give your daughter unto his son. And one of the most important marriages right now that we are not supposed to do is we are not supposed to be married to our oppressor's military.
Salakia, everybody, just one moment. We'll hold it for Cap to get back. Having a little technical difficulty.
Bear with it just a moment. We have a little technical thing there. Part of his world. God told us not to do that.
All right, we should be good now. All right.
Okay.
Now it's time for our oppressor to go. All of his marriages, all of his deals, all of his military. Like the Lord is getting ready to draw everybody on the earth into a bloodbath. From the Middle East to Asia to Europe to Russia, Central South America. Now's the time that we are supposed to be fortified in serving the Lord to get his protection. all this time, our people assumed that God was with us. Despite all manner of terrible things, the Christian church has been able to lie to our people and tell us that as long as America was up and functioning, the health that the white man enjoyed and got a part of his side, even though our people have been suffering in silence and the world was not watching. Now that the world is looking because of ICE and Border Patrol and Trump and the Epstein files, you're seeing just how we've always been treated. You understand? And the Lord is waking us up. We weren't supposed to join it. If you Black, Latino, and Native American, they give you an opportunity. His Navy, get out of his Army, get out of his Marine Corps, get out of his Air Force and Space Force. They are preparing to go to war against Christ, against all the kingdoms of the world. God is forcing them into a war to pay for the destruction of his chosen people. All of them have to go to war to get out of our land. All of that land belongs to us. We over here in captivity in America in ICE detention centers getting beat to piss on the side of the road at traffic stops, working 9 to 5 and 6 to 10s. God is sending them to war to die so that we can get our kingdom. But if you think that Christ did away with the law in the Old Testament and the prophets, don't know that the instructions about what you're supposed to do in 2026, God already gave them in the Old Testament. And who you are supposed to follow in 2026, God already gave you the instructions and information for how to find who he set up for you to follow so that you don't put Donald Trump in office or Joe Biden or Barack Obama or Bill Clinton or Jimmy Carter. We're not supposed to be looking for answers. We are the only people on the planet who have all the answers already. You understand? But if you make a marriage with another nation of people, we throw our answers away to go try to be one of them. Keep going, Nicole. Please.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
His daughter amongst our families. They're not supposed to go on. Our worlds are supposed to be separate. We're supposed to be separate. Now more than ever. Wait until them same white boys stop getting their checks. They passing legislation right now to limit gun laws. Trump talking about he pro-Second Amendment. When they come to take the guns away from these white boys going to turn up 9 million degrees in America. All the domestic terrorism, they done gave them guns, badges, and money in ICE. When they come trying to take their guns away, it's going to be an absolute mess. That's why we're supposed to be plugged into the Lord, not plugged into America. These things are happening to force you to wake up and detach from America. We were never supposed to be there. Don't tread on me. The Patriot Front, the Oath Keepers, the Proud Boys, they all ICE right now. Wait until Donald Trump cut that money off. Wait until they inspecting and check and that check don't come through. They just avoided a government shutdown. The Democrats was pushing for another government shutdown. Trump caved real quick. You done gave all these crazy white boys all of this badges and leeway, and they supposed to get their $50,000 and they double, triple with a policeman's salary. You done turned them loose all over the city, said they got no knock warrants, and now you're not going to pay them. Is no. Yeah. understand? But the Lord gave us instructions. Keep going.
Con. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
And this is what happened. We turned away from following the Lord. Time for us to turn back to follow the Most High. We've been in following America for so long. We think that God is with America. You understand? We think wherever direction America goes, God is going to be with us. God hates America. God hates America. He's always hated America. America has violated so many of God's rules and laws in the Bible. That unless you ignore and think they prior, give me Amos chapter 9 and verse 8, Yahweh. And then hold me Habakkuk 2 and 12. Keep going, the gospel.
Con. That they may serve other gods.
That they may serve other gods. Why does it matter if you serve another God? Because the Lord is going to explain what happens when we serve another God. Why does it matter? We've been told you got the freedom of this, the freedom of that. Everybody free to do whatever they want. That freedom don't come from the Lord. God didn't give free will. God gave an ultimatum. He said, you do this, or this is the consequence. God never said you free to choose whatever you want. He said, if you don't do this, this is how I'm going to hurt you. This is what's going to happen. That's what God said in the Bible. Keep going.
So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you.
So the anger of the Lord will be kindled. Kindle means to burn hot. God's anger is burning hot against us. We're going to church and praying to Mary, Hail Mary, those rosary beads, the Catholic services, praise and worship services, choir rehearsal. You understand? Doing everything but obeying the Lord. Going to fake Israelite groups. The anger of the Lord is kindled against our people. You understand? Getting robbed, getting scammed. You done gave your money to some brother, he trying to prostitute his wife on the internet. While you spent a decade arguing with the UPK, warning you that you were not in the truth. Warning you that your leader was a closeted homosexual man. And you stay in his purple church. Then they murder sisters in the UK because they bring in Africans. You stay in that church. Big Frida twerking and shit, attack and do violence to brothers. You ignore it. You stay in that church. They pistol whip. You ignore and stay in that church. Tazadakia forcing brothers to wear candy cane colors. $500, $1,500. You ignore it and stay in this church. Fake Israelite groups. White women sitting up in the Passover. You ignore it and stay in that church. Brothers getting shape-ups and dreadlocks in they fake Israelite groups. You ignore it and stay in that church. Turn shalom into shalom. Put baby doll tassels on a t-shirt. You ignore it and stay in that church. Speaking Yiddish, Yehudi, Yehoda, Bokatav, all kind of white man Yiddish garbage. You ignore it and stay in that church. While the UPK is saying, if you are not in the ISUPK, the Lord is not with you. You are not in the truth. You are not authorized to teach the Bible. You are putting the people who follow you in danger. You ignore it and continue. Well, now we get into the end. Now the empire is about to fall. Only thing going to be left standing is who the Lord is with. Find out at the same time, it's going to be a shock. Keep going. What did the Lord say he was going to do?
And destroy thee suddenly. Little difficulties again.
Like, what is the Lord's reputation? What is his spirit? Keep going. Keep reading the call. Give me 5.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them.
I guess you're not hearing me.
Come. Can you hear me?
Still breaking up. Go ahead. Keep going. Give me 5. Salaki, you got kicked out again. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them.
This is the way that the Lord wanted us to deal with them. This is the proper spirit that we are supposed to have. God is not all-inclusive and multicultural. Keep going.
Ye shall destroy their altars.
The Lord said, "Ye shall destroy their altars." The Lord don't have respect of religion and persons. Everybody altar is not supposed to get reverence. We were physically ordered to destroy them at one time. Now we spiritually destroy them. While all the Christians is thinking that Jesus Christ wants everybody to come together and hug and kiss and all of this here and be a melting pot, Jesus Christ said he didn't come to do away with the instructions that God gave in the law or the prophets. This is how you shall deal with them. Everybody that's not the Lord's people. All of the other customs and cultures. What did the Lord say? Did he get a call?
You shall destroy their altars.
Ye shall destroy their altars. Destroy them. That mosque, that church, Buddhism, Rastafarianism, any and every God that exalts itself above the knowledge of the Most High. All of them get smashed, trashed, destroyed. We battle all of them. Everything, everyone, all the time since the 60s, because that's the spirit of God. Not go along to get along. We're talking about a battle. These nations have come and risen up against the children of the Lord, and our people are trapped in these religions and these customs, and they need to be made of God to destroy their altars, to trash their religions, to expose their gods for who they really are, which we coming up to the next one with the Epstein list, getting to the good part of the class. We coming up to it, y'all. And it's a damn mess. Sister DeBar got a question. She said, anything special or unique. They're just Christians. They're just Christians like everybody else. The Lord is going to be the ultimate judge. You understand? So we don't judge anyone because judgment is issuing the punishment. Judgments of the Lord to warn our people. The Lord said for everybody to go into the mountains with Mattathias. Plenty of people were accustomed to not listening to the prophets of God, and they went in the wilderness, and them and their families died because they were accustomed to ignoring the prophets and the law that Christ said, don't think I've done away with it. You understand? So ultimately, that's be the Lord's decision. But it's prophesied in the Bible that 2/3 of our people are going to die in this civil war that is going to happen. It is absolutely going to exactly what we are on the steps of. That's why they're talking nuclear missiles with Russia, China, Korea, Iran, and Israel. The whole Navy is in the South China Sea and on the Gulf of Iran because it's here. It's coming. You understand? So that's a good question. Are they giving mercy because they followed a fake prophet without knowing? they're in a very terrible situation. That's why in the ISUPK we got a saying. It's called be sure, make sure. Who knows? Here's one thing that's for sure. They are not in the truth. And fake and false prophets, they have their day in the lake of fire. That's what it says in the Bible. Now, if you want to stick around and roll the dice to see just how fake your false prophet is, remember, Commander General Yohana gave an order for all schools to return, all camps return to the original school. He's been giving that order for over a decade. Everybody thought it was a joke and would go do their own thing. Now the Lord got the answer. So who knows? That's a good question, sis. All right. So keep going across the part.
And break down their images.
And destroy their images. All of the people they hold in such high regard, like that damn Pharaoh and all them gods in Egypt that Captain Tazaryak, the Kemet killer, has been destroying for decades. All of their images of Muhammad they hold in such high regard, who violated little boys and little girls, who murdered men and had sex with their wives. All that Africa love. They eat monkeys and rats and cutting the clitoris off of their woman like a dummy. Spreading hepatitis all throughout their tribe to scar up your damn face, putting marks in your flesh for the dead that God told us not to do, so that we are different from them. The Lord said to trash him. Show the people the images who think they are Africans of real Africans covered in cow feces. Show them the images of real Africans with their head up in elephants' behinds, since you want to worship Africa. This is what God said to do. That is why this is what we do in the ISUPK. Because this is what it says in the scripture. Every Christian that comes to our school, well, you talk about them like that. Why can't everybody just get along? Why don't everybody just hold hands? Why don't you just respect everybody's belief? Because God didn't say respect everybody's belief. What did God say to do? Tell them again one more time across the park. What did God say?
And break down their images.
God said to trash their images. Trash it. From the Easter bunny to the Christmas trees to the Caesar Borgia to the rock in Mecca. Trash it. That's what God said. Keep going.
And cut down their groves.
Cut down all their religious areas and places. What happens in these groves? These groves, they set up on that Epstein Island. That's what's in these damn groves. We're going to get into this law. We're going to learn about Amalek. You understand? The Exodus 11 and 7. Yaiquab. Let's get Amalek.
The book of
Amalek.
Exodus.
No,
The book of
not yet.
Exodus.
I just hold it for me. Hold it
Right.
for me.
Okay.
Hold it for me. Not yet. Like, this is how the Lord wants us to feel. Why? In your mind, we are such a loving and kind and accepting people, which is why we should be in charge and rule the world. What you don't understand, Black man, Latino, Native American, is the rest of the world is not a kind, sweet, loving, hugging, forgiving, welcoming place. That's a lie. If you didn't have the white man's passport and the white man's ownership attached to your identity, when you went and traveled all across Africa, those Arabs would take you. Black woman, if you didn't have the white man's passport and you travel all over the goddamn world like a white woman, you wouldn't come back home. They take you like they take black women and dark-skinned women all over the world, all over the Arab world, all over Africa. The only reason that you're able to come and go freely, or you used to, across the world is because the white man had people that would come and kill everybody if your country develops a reputation for hurting Americans. Because the real world don't let women just roam everywhere. You need protection. You need borders and gates and boundaries. Otherwise, they'll take you. Everybody in China, in Africa, West, East, North, and South, in the Arab world, in Western Europe, Eastern Europe, they'll take you. You understand? This fantasy world that we've been living in is coming to an end. It's over. It's not real. You don't get to choose your leaders. That's not a real place. All over the world, they ain't choosing leaders. They robbing, scheming, stealing, lying, doing backdoor deals. That's the real world. Donald Trump trying to get rid of all the free voting in America right now. They raided Fulton County to take the voting machines. They want to nationalize voting so he can hit a switch and say, see, I won. Everybody voted for me. He just flipped the switch and all the votes say Trump. The real world, everybody cheating, everybody lying, everybody scheming, everybody murdering. That's the real world. You understand? The only place that's not like that, that's not expecting the world to be like that, is these 12 tribes. Because if we had power, we would not do this to anyone. You understand? That's why God called us sheep. Sheep don't recognize danger. Sheep not good at avoiding danger. Somebody has to protect and fight for the sheep. You understand? The other nations are called what? The beast of the field. You understand? You ever watch the National Geographics? You watch National Geographics and you see the horse and you see the zebra out there. And the zebra with the stripes, and you see the giraffe, and you see the buffalo, and then you see the hyena or the lions come, and they just hunt them. They grab them, they stick their claws into them and get to biting and tear them down, and they be hollering for help. And then when you see that, how do you feel? What you think? Let me show you something. What you think? When you see that. Class, you chime in too. When you see that, what you think? I'm going to start with a course apart. You outrank Yahquah. What you think when you see that? The lions get on a wildebeest, they get on the zebra. What you think?
The lion is preying on the prey. That's how the jungle is. Whatever the most dominant species is in the jungle, they eat the lower species. You understand? That's how these beasts carry it with us. They devour.
Absolutely.
They destroy.
Absolutely.
The strong preying on the weak.
They destroy and devour. Absolutely. Absolutely. They show zero mercy whatsoever. You're right. You're right. Yahquah, what you got? Also, Yagadar say I be feeling bad for him. You feel bad for the zebra, for the giraffes, and then you be feeling bad for them. I hear you, priest. What about you, Yahquah? Well, all the sisters, I know you sisters be crying, watching the damn zebras getting all ripped up. Don't be in here all quiet.
I feel like Officer Yagadar.
Where's the boy? Where's Tazariah at? Y'all be feeling bad. Where's Imadar? I know you be feeling bad for him. At. Go ahead.
I be feeling bad for him, sir, sometimes. Like Officer Yagadar, man, I be like, God, they ain't got to be like that, man. But that's just the way of things.
Tawada, sister Tazariah gonna be honest. Tazariah, you be feeling bad for him? I hear you. Yahquah, you be thinking it's terrible, right? It's terrible. I seen a video, the owner, he took one of the fish, he took like a nice, decent pet fish, and he threw it in the tank with them piranhas, and one of the piranhas just kept messing with him and took a chunk out of his side, man, and then they gradually just bit him and nipped, and he was trying to get away, man, they just dog piled on it, stripped him down to the bone, all you see is his little mouth just trying to breathe. They steadily getting to him, just tearing him apart. Like, damn, this is a cold world, man. Sister DeBar be yelling at the TV for them to run. Be like, run, you got to get out of there, man. They're going to eat you. He just looking around, just chilling, eating the grass. His buddies just over there looking. There go them lines. There go them lines. We about to go. Come on. Come on, Tate. All right, go ahead and sit there. Come on, we about to go. Oh, shit, is that again? That's the lines there. All right. On you. All right. What we doing? What we doing? We heading out. They be on him. He try to get up and run. They be over there with the squad. You understand? This is Tazarah said, yes, just hearing it's making me sad, and I yell at the TV. It's all right, sister. It's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with it feeling sad for them. Check this out. Those animals that everybody feels so sorry for, they be nice and gentle at the petting zoo. But most of those hunts that them lions and zebras and hyenas they go on, most of those hunts fail. Them animals get trampled, gored, jaws broke, legs broke, hand broke, eye ripped out the socket, teeth ripped off. Them animals are not helpless for them lions. Most of the hunts that them lions have fail. Most of them. The ones that they able to successfully get are babies, the sick, and the old. The majority of them hunts fail. Them animals break them lions' jaws, break them lions' ribs, stomp them zebras' skull, tear half their face off, knock their eyes out the socket. Them animals are not helpless. And them animals will hurt you. They'll bite the hell out of you. They'll stomp you. They'll trample you. Them animals, just because the lion is so ferocious, you would instinctively think and want to protect the other animals there. But they are more than the lions. They're bigger than the lions. They're heavier than the lions. And the lions are only able to get one of them or so to eat, and it has to hold them for a very long time, even with their power, their skills, their hunting ability, their camouflage, their claws, their muscles. They still have to fight in order to survive. You understand? And many of them don't survive and don't get to eat enough, and they do die and suffer great injuries. I said that to say this. The other nations of people don't have that level of compassion for us. When they see us getting beaten and hurting and all of that, they don't instinctively have that level of compassion for us. We were sold and had terrible things happen to us for hundreds of years, and nobody cared. In fact, the world got reshaped around the evil that was done to us, and everybody got rich. You understand? They don't accept the fact that we have a different God. If they had their opportunity, they forced us to not serve our God, to not keep our Sabbaths, to not do what made us strong, to not let us have our own culture and our own ways. They threw our babies in the Nile so that crocodiles could eat them. The same way the white man threw our babies in the swamps so that crocodiles could eat them. That's what the Egyptians did to us. They wanted a sister to kill the baby as soon as the baby comes out, if it's a boy. The Romans did the same thing under Herod the Great. That's why Christ had to go live in Egypt. After Mary had the baby, the angel told him, rise, take thy wife and that boy and get him the hell out of Jerusalem, because the Romans was killing our babies. The Arabs was doing the same. Castrating brothers, all kind of madness. The Africans was doing the same. The Asians have the same culture. These other nations of people might seem so nice and sweet and friendly and welcoming, That's a goddamn lie. They are not. Nothing that God created is like that except you. I'm not talking about people feeling bad for an animal that can't defend itself. I'm talking about we being the people that God said are like beasts, are like prey to the other nations that don't have remorse or compassion about what has happened to us. And you want to keep that in mind because it can be very easy to dismiss if you are not accustomed to the actual spirit of God and his name and reputation. The things that he told us aforetime were written so that we can learn. Like we down again. Hold up. It's like we lost you.
It's like we lost you.
All right. Like we lost the course. So what happened?
Right. Like we lost the course. What happened?
All right, we jamming. Okay.
All right, we jamming.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's what the Lord was
Anyway,
saying.
that's
They don't have that level of
but say
compassion when
they
it
don't
comes to
have that
us.
level of compassion when it comes to
Salakia,
us.
sir.
What? Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay, let's try this. What about now? You said Salaki Yaquab?
Colonel Wakan, sir, you got two images of you up. Okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
see.
now it's muted. Colonel Wakan, sir, it's muted now.
All right, perfect. But they don't have that level of compassion when it comes to us, and you want to remember that when dealing with the other nations of people. We are the compassionate, loving, and forgiving people. Nobody's forgiving anybody or anything. That's us. Forgiveness is biblical. You understand? We are the people. Those instructions that God gave. Now we want to get to Amalek. Got Amalek. Exodus. Let's see. Amalek. The specific scriptures. Take me to Exodus chapter 17 and verse. The specific. Should be Exodus chapter 17. Hold on. Exodus 17 and 8. Amalek is the so-called Jewish man. And what Amalek did in the Bible is Amalek, when we came out of Egypt, Amalek attacked us. They attacked us when we were frail, when we were weak, when we didn't have power, when we were just getting our footing coming out of being in slavery for hundreds of years. And the Lord was establishing us as a nation. You understand? And we were trying to avoid going through people's land because everybody was afraid of us. And then they came to attack our babies, our grandmothers, all of our weak and sick. They're just coming out of the Egyptian hospital. And now we have to leave and travel through the wilderness to get to our new home. They came to attack us. And now, what the Lord said about Amalek, give me Exodus 11 and 14.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11, chapter 17. It's like you, sir, 17, right?
Yeah, 17, 14.
Come. The book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 14. And the Most High said unto Moses.
Remember, the Lord said unto Moses, Christ clarified, think not that I come to do away with the law of the prophets. Because Christ came, this stuff does not go away. Moses is the prophets. This is in the law. Keep going.
Write this for a memorial in a book.
The Lord said, put it in a book so it will not be forgotten. These important things the Christian church told us did not matter anymore. Like, we are the people that represent the Lord in the earth. And by saying what the Lord said for us to say in the law and the prophets, the same way that Christianity has a reputation throughout the world and has a powerful force, this is how the truth would have a reputation throughout the world and a powerful force against the evil. Mind you, we can already start talking about the so-called Jewish man and the Epstein and all of that. These things would not have power if the righteous were in authority. If we obeyed the Lord and were not joined to the other nations of people, then they would not have power and authority over us, over the world, over anyone. There would be no Epstein Island where they would be able to go and take orphans and children from around the world so that rich white men could murder them and violate them and force them to have sex with each other, which is what the Epstein Island was, which President Trump was involved in, a couple of other presidents, the European oligarchy and rich elites and the super billionaires and many of your entertainers, that it hasn't come out millions of pages of files and documents, millions. And they are being released on YouTube. Babies, 7, 8-year-old babies in goddamn bikinis, pouring water and juice from fountains for disgusting sodomites that are the rich Hollywood movie producers that control everything, because our people go to goddamn church and the mosque and don't care that God gave us commandments to follow. So wicked, evil bastards have power throughout the world because the children of God won't do their job and serve the Lord. Because we eating pork and smoking cigarettes and having sex with other brothers' women and aborting our babies. This is why Epstein has power. This is why there's an Epstein Island. Because everybody goes to church and the mosque and votes for their leaders instead of obeying the prophet that the Lord set up so that the Spirit of God can run the world. So as a result, the spirit of our oppressor runs the world. Amalek runs it. This is Amalek here. Keep going.
And rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
The Lord said, put this in a book so that it can be remembered, so it can be rehearsed, so they remember it over and over. Keep going.
For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
God wanted the remembrance of Amalek to be removed from the planet Earth. God didn't want them to exist. He wanted them to cease. You understand? Give me verse 16. Salakia, read verse 15.
Verse 15. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi.
Jehovah Nissi. Now, if you grew up, you would hear Christians talk about all these names of God in the church. And you would hear them. And you would hear people singing about them. And they would say Jehovah Jireh and Jehovah Rapha and Jehovah Nissi. And they would sing. Anybody remember hearing any of that growing up? Anybody ever heard that before? Jehovah Nissi. I was a Yahweh. Who else? Anybody heard that before? Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Jireh, my provider, and Rapha and Nisi. And the pastor get to growling and singing and foaming at the mouth, and you think it's about Jesus and choir rehearsal and singing and people crying and old ladies and babies screaming and the sodomite on the piano and Big Shirley up there hitting all the notes. And you like, damn, the Spirit of God is in here. The Spirit of the Lord is in here. And you be thinking God just wants you to love and hug and kiss and just rock back and forth and close your eyes and wave your hands like you're at a Michael Jackson concert. What is this Jehovah Nisi about? Read the next verse. Everybody
Verse
remember
16.
that. Good.
Verse 16. For he said,
your mouth is moving, ain't no sound coming out. This is what the Lord said. This is what all that was about. Keep going.
because the Most High have sworn that the Most High will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Have what?
Will
what?
have war.
Love. What?
Will have war.
Choir rehearsal. What?
Will have war.
Intercessory prayer. Night watch service. Children's
Will
church.
have war.
The usher board meeting. Will have war with who?
With Amalek.
Go ahead.
From generation to generation.
When Kurt Franklin and Donnie McClurkin is singing and you listening to Yolanda Adams, not now, you better not listen to him now because all of that is a sin. That damn gospel music. When you hear all them Christians singing on that choir, all them Jehovah this, Jehovah that, Jehovah Nisi was about God calling for the mass killing of Amalek from generation to generation. That's him, his kids, his grandson, his great-great-grandson, from generation to generation. That was about God telling you he hates these people and he wants the people to serve him and wipe them off the face of the earth. Did they tell you that in church? Did they tell you that that's what Jehovah Nisi was about in church? That's what you heard, Yabakar? DeBar, is that what they told you? McCoy Yala, is that what they told you about Jehovah Nisi? That's what they told you, Raya? Azarakar, that's what they told you, Yagadar? Did they say that? They broke it down for you? Go ahead.
When I was coming up, sir, they used it as a form of the beginning of them speaking so-called tongues.
Oh, yeah. They didn't tell you this was about killing, was it? They didn't tell you that? They didn't say all that.
Sir.
Moses made an altar and called it Jehovah Nisi because God wanted Joshua to kill them all. Every single generation that they came back into the earth, God wanted them dead. That's why Christ had to explain in the New Testament, don't think that I come to do away with the law, which is what we read it, or the prophets, which is what we read it. What God have you been taught about in church? This your first time in class. You in a cult now. This cult here. It take a cult to teach what's in the Bible because your whole life you've been lied to about Jehovah. There's no God like Jehovah. Listening to all them damn songs. God calling for the extermination of these people. And they still run the world to this day. That's who controlling Epstein Island. You mean pass through the fire. The diabolical things being talked about that Amalek is doing, running Epstein Island and these secret child sacrifice and brothel sex parties with these damn children. This is who God wanted King Saul to remove from the face of the earth. You understand? This is what comes along. See, it don't look like all of this while you going to church. It don't look like that. You don't know what you celebrate. When it says make your sons and daughters to pass through the fire, they're doing terrible things. Candace, I just, investigative journalists just talked about the files that's open in, give me Jeremiah 32 and 35. The sacrifice. See, no nation forgets their God. Hold Ezekiel 23 and 37. Every nation still keeps the customs of their people. Everybody talking that Africa, love Africa. These were the gods of the Africans, of the Canaanites, of Amalek. Every nation keeps their gods and their culture. The only people that think that the culture of your forefathers doesn't matter and you're free to just take anybody's customs, you don't know what their customs are about. They still keep their customs. While you put up that Christmas tree celebrating Christmas, you are supporting their custom. They're going to go and do sacrifices of living human beings, and you are going to celebrate them by keeping it going, by putting a tree in your house, because the church keeps you ignorant. It keeps you disobeying God. So while everybody is outraged about what's happening on Epstein Island, which you should be, which a whole bunch of stuff that you don't know about, it continues. And it's able to get its support and keep its strength because you worship the gods that they worship. You don't know what it's really about. You just having fun putting a tree up in your house, but they having the real Saturnalia. They having the real Nimrod birthday, the real sacrifices. While you putting that tree, putting bulbs on the tree, they having real heads hanging from trees. And you and Big Mama and the church and the outreach center all supported to keep their God alive. You don't know what God you serve. You don't know those gods. You don't know those customs. They're continuing their customs. You don't know. Mama don't know. Pop don't know. Unc don't know. Your nieces and nephew don't know. They really having them services. And you support it and give power to their gods because you refuse to hear the prophets of the Lord in the UPK to give the power back to the God of our fathers. You understand? You got the scriptures I called for?
Salak, yes, sir. Which one you want first? The Jeremiah 32?
I called Jeremiah first. Let's get it.
Come on, Khan. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 35. And they built the high places of Baal.
Well, Baal, that was the title. You should go and listen to it if you get a chance. Now, it's not exactly what's in the Bible, but it is talking about the redacted and all those files about what was released before the Justice Department took it down, and a lot of it, what they was able to uncover. These nations never stopped doing their practices. This is why God had King David wipe out the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Girgashites and all the vile things and customs that they were doing in the earth and all the evil and the gods and the demons that they served and all the power that was loosed in the earth. Remember, Pharaoh had power. The Lord gave him power so that he could destroy him. The white man has real power. The Lord changed the language of everybody in the Tower of Babel because nothing that they imagine will be refrained from them. What you don't know, why they telling you to love all the ancient world cultures and pray to the sky and wear the crystals around your neck and pray to the tarot cards and pray to Mecca, you don't know their actual customs. You don't know them. You don't know their gods. You think it's just praying and submitting. You don't know the actual evil that the people whose religion that you follow, that they get power from you serving their God. They get money from you, believing from you, strength from you, that strengthens the hands of an evil man that would not have anywhere to hide if you weren't a Roman Catholic. The priests that molest children would not have a place to hide if you stopped going to church. If Big Mama stopped going to church. If Abuela stopped going to church. If Manuel stopped going to church. They wouldn't have a place to hide. They would have to face judgment for the evil that they're doing. Then the children would be safe and the cities would get fixed. That's why the Lord said, I did not send them. They lied to you and told you I told them something. I didn't tell them a damn thing. Keep going.
Which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom.
They in the valley, in a low place. Keep going.
To cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Molech.
To pass through the fire. Pass through the fire is to do a number of things that would hurt them, that would cause them pain, that would cause them to lose their lives. You understand? It's a number of things. Any more on that?
Come on one concert. Which I commanded them not.
The Lord gave commandments to not follow them. See, you don't know what they're doing. You just thinking it's all nice and wonderful. You don't see the evil that they're doing in them lands. You understand? Hold on, Salaki. That's right, Ham. That's right. There was just...
Salaki, everybody just stand by. Cap will be right back shortly.
All right, go ahead. Keep reading, Yaquab. You didn't hear me? I said keep reading. Go ahead.
Color concert.
Salaki.
To cause their sons. Oh, Salaki. Neither came it into my mind.
Like, it says neither came it, meaning you were not thinking what evil was going to come behind you taking their customs. Nobody thought about this evil. Keep going.
That they should do this abomination.
They should do these abominations. You didn't even think about this. You just figured you celebrating a tree, you going to a party, you getting high, having a good time. It's a nice freak off. Get to hang out with Diddy. You didn't know they was going to drug everybody. You was going to wake up in a damn bathtub. You're going to wake up bleeding. You didn't know that's what it was about. You was going to end up on video, getting drugged and passed around like the white boys do at the frat party. You didn't know it was about this. You just wanted to get high. Nobody told you wasn't supposed to get high when you started at 13, 14, 15. Everybody got high in the neighborhood. Weed, cigarette, and pills, coke. You didn't know where it was going to lead you. Well, now you made it. Now you made it to the freak off. And then he got some get high for you. And Epstein is there. And what's his name? Clyde Davis is there. And the cabal, they there. They there for the party. The all-white parties. And they got footage. And if you don't do something they like, then your footage coming out. Well, now, the footage. Now that the empire, it's time for the empire to fall, all the evil, dirty, nasty secrets being revealed. You understand? They done a bunch of terrible things that you don't even know about. You out voting for a leader, you don't know who you done put in office. This man is a maniac. All the things they done saying that President Trump did in these videos and these files at these parties, got forcing little kids to have relationships with each other, abusing and beating little kids, little boys and girls, killing people, killing puppies, mutilating people, eating people, all manner of evil things. This is why God told Joshua to wipe Amalek off the face of the earth. This is the old world cultures. Many of these old horror movies that you watch, they rooted in some old world culture deity. Once you get halfway through the movie, you find out that this is some old symbol that the ancient peoples of the plains of Nivea did, straight from a horror film. But they take these things and put them into a movie. And it'd be like, well, this is just a good TV show. All kind of stuff, barn parties, all manner of evil things. Some devil was running an adoption agency. Meaning she running an adoption agency, getting kids with no parents, taking the kids with no parents from an adoption agency and giving them over to Jeffrey Epstein on the damn island. No kids. No parents. No protection. You understand? Only reason these things are coming out is because it's time for the empire to end. You understand? You don't realize what America is. You've been thinking America's sweet, wonderful, beloved of God. You still got that Amos 9 and 8 I had you holding? Give me the Ezekiel next.
Salakia, sir.
That Roman Catholic Church.
On the Ezekiel, sir, all I got was the chapter 23 in verse what?
37.
37. Come on. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 23, verse 37. That they have committed adultery.
The Lord said, do not marry another nation of people. Do not take their culture. You do not know who these people are. You don't know them. All you see is the lights and their waist beads and all of that. You don't know what them beads are about. You looking at jewelry and fashion accessories. You don't know why they doing that. You don't know what those tattoos are for. You getting tattoos following behind Rihanna. Rihanna wearing some sex cult magical tattoos that she done got from the goddamn gypsies, that they done got from the Egyptians, that they done got from the Babylonians, that they done all kind of baby sacrifices and drinking blood and all kind of stuff. You don't know. But what you need to know is that God said, don't print any marks upon you. You don't know what the mark is for. Only thing you needed to know was that God said, don't print any marks on you. So you never end up wearing the mark of them and their cult for their God and their culture to give them power. You would never end up wearing any of it because you got instructions from Christ to obey the law and the prophets that God gave in the Old Testament. And you got it in the New Testament. And because the Christian church failed to teach us, we are completely vulnerable, walking straight into trap after trap after trap. And then before you know it, the evil spirits from whatever lifestyle that you following, but you don't know their lifestyle. You don't know what comes along with that custom. You don't know what comes along with serving that God. And then before you know it, that evil gets loosed in your whole community. Like the Lord knew better. Keep going, Yaquab.
And blood is in their hands.
Blood is in their hands. They done took the culture of the other nations of people. They done married They done things, and now blood is in their hands. This is what happened to us once we took the customs of the other nations of people. All this murder and killing, and that's not our culture. It's not black man, Latino man's culture being with somebody else's woman. That's not our culture. Murder is not our culture. Being happy, taking somebody's life, that's not our culture. You understand? Shedding innocent blood is not our culture. That's not us. Worshiping other gods is not our culture. That's never who we were supposed to be. Eating anything is not our culture. Praying that God just bless anything, that's not our culture. We got to get back to it. We done been a part of some very dangerous things. And we don't know about these things. We in all kind of customs, and we don't know about them. And it put us in grave, especially in that music world and that Hollywood. Keep going.
And with their idols have they committed adultery.
Now they explain it too. That's why we're telling you what adultery and making a covenant or a marriage with them is, because they're idols, they're religions, they're gods, they're Islam and Christianity, and they're weed and they're dreadlocks and all of these other nations of people, and they're worshiping of America. That's the biggest God in this land, praying to America, worshiping that flag. That's why you got to sing a song to it. That's why you got to rise for it and pledge allegiance to it. The damn flag is not alive. You ever thought why you got to pledge allegiance to the flag if the flag is not alive? Why you got to stand up for the flag if the flag is not alive? Why is there a song dedicated to praising the flag if the flag is not alive? We're going to play football. Why the hell we got to worship the flag before we can play football? I thought we playing basketball. Why we got to have a prayer to the flag before we play basketball? I thought we doing hockey. I thought we driving cars in a circle at NASCAR. Why we got to rise and do a pledge of allegiance and praise and worship the flag before? Because that is a god. That flag is an idol. That's a god. You understand? You didn't know you worshiping and pledging allegiance to America, fighting and killing for America, wearing that uniform, taking an oath to be the police and swearing into the government. That is the worship of other gods. And the gods of those people and the people whose gods they are, they want you to live an alternative lifestyle so you can die, and abort your baby so that you can die, and kill your brother so that you can die, and have sex with your brother's woman so your God would kill you, so you'd be full of diseases, and integrate so you lose your community and destroy your family by putting your woman over charge of you, and then tell her she don't have to listen to you, and then destroy her and the kids in the city once she's without your protection. They have an agenda. Nobody has ever stopped serving their gods, and those gods have a purpose. That's why we call God our power, because those gods of the other nations give them power. And they've been getting our power from us to make them strong. That's why it said in Jeremiah, they strengthened the hands of an evil man. You understand? Y'all getting it? Keep going. Y'all give me a 1 if y'all understand what I'm saying. We're going to wrap it up in a minute. Keep going, Yaquat.
And have also caused their sons.
And now, because of this evil, your sons have now joined and married into America. They done married into the police force and the military, killing for America, bombing for America, serving the gods of the other nations. They want to join America. Now they done swore an oath to do a damn rap concert. They just want to rap and sing. Now they got to go to the nasty Jewish white man's freak off party. They got to have the egg test. Let some sodomite drug them and run in their backside to sell records. You understand? Get drugged and wake up naked in a damn bathtub. Get rushed to the emergency room overdosing. Filtering all the way down to your Greek fraternities, spitting eggs in each other's mouth and doing all kind of spanking rituals, people dying, drugging, overdosing, choking out. All that's the white man's culture. That's his ancient culture from many, many generations ago that the Lord wanted removed from the earth. That's why King David was sent to wipe those nations out. God didn't want this evil in the earth anymore. And now they rule over us. We got to turn back to the Lord. You don't know how evil these people are. You think the niggas selling drugs and breaking in houses is evil in your neighborhood. That ain't evil. That's bad and it's wrong, but you don't know the real evil. White men in suits sitting in Congress, they got real evil you don't know about. Evil you can't, what did the scripture say in Jeremiah? You can't dream their evil. You don't know how evil gets. You understand? Keep going.
Whom they bear unto me.
They bear unto me. What did they do with their sons? Keep going.
To pass for them through the fire.
They passed them through the fire. One of the things the Babylonian gods, the deities, they had a god that was called Hathor. The Egyptians called it Hathor. It was called Molech. Molech was represented by a big cattle that was a furnace. And they would take the babies and they would take a newborn and a young baby and they would put the baby in that oven and burn the baby alive to sacrifice it unto Molech. They would cook the baby. You understand? This is the culture of the other nations of people. This is what it costs to actually be them. Not all the fun stuff you see about the dances after we done taught them music and movies and sports. That come from us. You don't know them. God gave us a warning about them. It said to devour them. What else did they do? Give me 38.
Verse 38. Moreover, this they have done unto me.
What else did they do? God said, you did this to me. The Lord said, what happened to you happened to me. This is what they've done to me. Keep going.
They have defiled my sanctuary in the same day.
In the same time they doing this evil, they also defiled my sanctuary. Keep going.
And have profaned my Sabbaths.
They done terrible things on my Sabbaths. They didn't care about keeping my Sabbaths. That's why most of our people believe the Sabbath day is Sunday. Because for so many generations, we chose these other nations of people and not the Most High. Now we don't even know what the Sabbath day is. You think you're serving God on Sunday. That's why after you finish so-called serving God on Sunday, you're tired, you're empty, you're drained, you got a sense of dread about the week getting ready to start. You feel terrible Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. The reality is Sunday is the first day of the week. The Sabbath day, God made Saturday the best day of the week. Everybody want to do everything on Saturday because God knows better. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 39. For when they had slain their children to their idols.
These idols required of us to kill our children. Keep going.
Then they came the same day into my sanctuary to profane it.
Then they went on ahead and came like they didn't just finish killing their kids. They figured we could serve all gods. We could take on all customs. We could do a little bit of the Lord, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. God is cool with it. God, this is their God loves everybody spirit. That spirit didn't just come out of nowhere. It was an evil spirit then. It's an evil spirit now. Keep going.
And lo.
Go ahead. And lo.
Thus have they done in the midst of mine house.
This is why the Lord got rid of the temples. He said, if you could think you could come to this one place after you finish killing your baby, eating human flesh, sacrificing your children to idols, getting high, having sex with other brothers' women, committing adultery, taking the customs of the other nations, then you come up in my temple trying to offer some sheep. The Lord did away with that temple. Nobody learned how to serve the Lord. Nobody gave a damn about the Most High. Nobody really took it seriously. The Lord said, I'm going to do away with the whole temple. Now the temple is going to be inside of you. Your actions is going to determine if you're going to stand with me or not. It won't be the blood of bulls and goats, because that's not going to correct you. You understand? That spirit we've had on our people for a very long time. And the freedom for that spirit to stay alive is getting ready to come in when God burns America to the ground. That's how the vast majority of our people reason and logic with God. That's why the scriptures say about 2/3 of our people is prophesied to lose their lives leading up to the return of Christ. You understand? So that's what it's saying there in the scriptures, man. Terrible things being done in this earth, which is why it's imperative that we be back in charge of the earth. So when you see the ISUPK, when you see brothers with boots and studs and braids, give me the Amos I have you holding 9 and 8. When you see it with men of war, this is what it takes to stand with the Lord. It takes strong men of war. You can't have no quiet boy and serve the Lord. You got to be behind a strong men of war. It takes an army to stand with the Lord. Not quiet boys, talking about Jehovah Nissi and shimmying and shaking. Jehovah Nissi means God going to have war with this race of people every generation. Go ask grandma. Next time you see your churchy grandma, big mama, little mama, next time you see them, ask them about Jehovah Nissi. She closed her eyes and start waving her hand. Ask her, where you get that from? Say, we learned about Jehovah Nissi in the Bible, Mom. Oh, you did? Praise God. Hallelujah. Jesus. Yeah. Let me read what it says, Mom. It's about God having a genocide of these people because they're so evil that he hate them every time they get born back into the earth. He want them all gone. Did they tell you that in church, Mom? Big Mama gonna say, who wrote that Bible? Not my Bible, not my Jesus. Jesus said he's still in line with the prophets and the law that God said in the Old Testament. He didn't do away with them. You understand? The truth is stranger than fiction. Give me what you got, Yaquab.
The book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 8. Behold.
Behold means look. What did God say?
The eyes of the Most High Power are upon the sinful kingdom.
The eyes of God are upon the sinful kingdom. America is the sinful kingdom. Every evil thing that gets promoted throughout the world, America is the one that's pushing it. They got other nations doing evil and wicked, but they can't return from their wickedness because America pushing them to keep the most wicked in power. And that's Amalek. That's the so-called Jewish man that the Bible God called in Revelation the synagogue of Satan. You understand? Keep going.
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
God said he's going to destroy this place from off the face of the earth. You won't be able to find anything. America would just be a huge pit of sand. Like you go in the Middle East, you look at the Middle East and those pictures in the desert, you be like, damn, why would the Lord just create all this sand? It wasn't always sand. It didn't used to just be sand like that. That's how America is going to be. That's how America is going to be. It's going to be sand. America going to be like Saudi Arabia, just sand everywhere. The ashes of buildings. New York, just ash. Philly, just ash. Las Vegas, just ash and sand. Hollywood, ash and sand. Florida, ash and sand. Orlando, ash and sand. Houston, Macon, ash. Mississippi, ash. It's just going to be dust, ash, and sand. The Lord is going to vaporize this place so that it never exists on a map anywhere because he hates it because of the evil that it spreads throughout the world. And most importantly, because of the evil that it has done to the children of Israel. That's why Christ has to return with 200 million UFOs, the armies that are in heaven, to deliver us. You understand? But you, brothers and sisters, have been trained and taught and well prepared for what is to come. And Lord willing, he multiplies so many much more of you before the Lord pulled a curtain up on this place, because it looks like it's coming fast. Who knows? All right. All right. So let's go ahead and end it. Give me Luke chapter 1, verse 71. Get y'all up out of here. The water y'all hanging in. Everybody make sure you hit the like, hit the share, subscribe. Take a moment to hit that like if you've not done so already. Make sure you pay your Passover fees. Pay your Passover fees. Book your hotels. We're going to be in the Lord's 57th annual Passover in Houston, Texas, in H-Town, Texas land, Old Mexico. You understand? We going over there that way. All right. Read what you got, Yaquan.
Come. The book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies.
That we need to be saved from this enemy. It takes salvation to get free from this enemy. People used to say, you don't like it here? Go to Africa. Go back. The white man just brought troops into Nigeria. It's United States troops in Africa getting ready to go to war in Africa right now. United States troops getting ready to invade South Africa. They in Nigeria right now. They in South Africa getting ready to go and bomb them again right now. You understand? They in West Africa. They in East Africa. They going to war with the Somali pirates. They in Yemen, in Oman, in the South China Sea, in the Arab Sea. They preparing for Iran. They in the China Sea, ready to get it on to defend Taiwan. They done sent soldiers to Norway, still planning on taking Greenland. Like the whole planet is at war and on its way to war. You understand? The Lord doing this to free us, that we get saved from who?
Saved from our enemies.
Go ahead.
And from the hand.
And from the hand
of all that hate us.
The hand of all that hate us. Pam Bondi hates us. Tom Holman hates us. Hegseth hates blacks and Latinos in his military. Donald Trump hates us. Christy Noam hates us. They absolutely hate our people. You understand? That's what we need salvation from, man. With that, we can go ahead and get up out of here. In the dead, the water. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah. All right. We're going to get it on. All right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right. The water, y'all hanging in there. You got the announcements, Yaquan, but no. I got them if not.
Come, sir. I have them, sir.
All right. Most High in Christ. Go ahead. Pass the class of preaching officer Yaquan. Get them announcements real quick. Let's get on.
All right. This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for a year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation to transportation. The teacher will arrange it. After a year, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10 means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. What you would do with that, you would go to isupk.com. Look in the left corner, you will see a sign, a little blue sign that says donation and tithes. Again, go to the isupk.com website. Go there. In the left corner, it's a blue button, says tithes and donations. Go there and give your tithes and your donations. The priest fund is a free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. Up Holy Convocations is going to be the Feast of Purim. It's coming up in March. Okay, so y'all want to be checking the bulletin boards in your schools and getting with your camp leaders and seeing the dates and the times and what you're going to need to rock out. If any brother want to come into the school and be a trooper, well, all black boots, pants, and a headband, okay, a war scarf, right? If any sister want to come into the school, you need to have your head wrapped and have on a modest dress, okay? And with that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat, I imagine Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashim, Shah Barakathum.
Yahweh Matah. Sister stand, I imagine, which is the stand. Brothers, we're going to face the sisters and give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat, I imagine Barak, Yahweh Shema, Latham, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shema, Latham, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah.
And with that, class dismissed.
It's that time of year. We're going to be in Houston, Texas from April 1st to April 5th. Celebrating the Lord's 57th annual Passover under commanding General Yohana. Jam-packed, full of events, line dancing, fishing, horseback riding, rides for the kids, bounce houses, and the annual lamb slaughter held at the BH Ranch. And it ain't no party like the all-black party, the annual all-black party. 14149 Player Street in Houston, Texas. You know it's gonna be lit. All leading up to Saturday, April 4th, the Lord's 57th annual Passover. You still got time. Go to isupk.com to pay your Passover fee. 18 and over, $200. You do not want to miss the Lord's 57th annual Passover. Houston, Texas. Shalom.